Hello, thank you for coming here today to witness this special event. To arrive at this point has been an ongoing life lesson in patience and perseverance. 13-year-old Zeke has dedicated the last 5 years to researching, designing, and building equipment in preparation for making a call to the International Space Station. After waves of successes and setbacks, he finally arrived at having a system capable of contacting the ISS. However, after many attempts to call an astronaut, Zeke finally understood that astronauts almost never respond to unscheduled ham radio calls. This is how we learned of NASA's educational outreach program, ISS, who chose Teach Northwest to carry out the mission of inspiring STEM in the classroom and beyond. Today, we have the entire community to thank for its generous support in making this dream a reality. Thank you, NASA, ISS, the International Space Station, and crew member Sunita Williams. Thank you to Evergreen's Aviation and Space Museum, the Carleton Observatory, and all of the wonderful volunteers. Thank you, Teach Northwest staff and students. Thank you, Oatvark, the members of our local amateur radio club. Thank you, Cadence Design Systems, and everyone here today. I'm going to introduce Janet. She is the founder of the Carleton Observatory.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. So I am one of the co-founders. My husband Forrest is the other founder. This was a vision and a dream of ours to build an observatory here at the Evergreen, and we're on our way. So we're sponsoring this event, but the Evergreen Aviation and Space Museum sponsors us. And I would like to invite the education director of the Evergreen up here to say a few words about their team and their program and what they're going to do here.
All right, forgive me, everyone. I don't do golf claps very well, and this is a really exciting thing. So once again, how's everyone doing this morning? All right, that's what I'm talking about. My name is Lee Ngo, and I'm the education director here at Aviation Space Museum. And our mission here is to inspire people, we say of kids, but really of all ages, to be curious and to have the courage to take flight. Now, just a quick show of hands, how many of you actually been here at the museum before? I heard a me in the background. We'll count that as a vote. That's fantastic. So I'm going to share a little bit of story about myself. Raise your hand if you've actually born in Oregon, if any of you were born in Oregon. A lot of you. Me too. I was born in Oregon. I was born in Oregon City, and I grew up mostly in Beaverton and Tigard. And my family and I, we would go to the beach. And if you're going to go to the beach, you're probably going to pass by this way, but we would just drive right past. But as a kid, every time I looked at the museum, I kind of clung to my window and wondered, what is this place? It looks beautiful and scary at the same time. So as a kid, I was always curious until finally one day I actually went, and the first thing I did was I looked up, and I could not stop looking up at all these amazing, beautiful things. And that's the kind of thing the museum's all about. We're all about getting you to look up and to wonder, right? Wonder what's inside and wonder what's possible. So the cool thing about this, all right, another quick question. How many of you all were around when the solar eclipses were happening recently? How many of you actually even went to the solar eclipse? I'm going to tell you right now, that's cool, but this is way cooler for one big reason. Can anyone shout out why this is even cooler? Because it's Zeke. Yes, because it's Zeke. First of all, give it up for Zeke, doing a fantastic job. I have not been this ambitious in my life when I was 13, and I'm just amazed at what you're doing now and what you're going to be doing. But the cool thing about this project, compared to even a solar eclipse, is that the solar eclipse doesn't talk back, right? This is an opportunity to actually hear from people. And I'm going to assure you, the people in the ISS have been through a lot. Raise your hand if you're excited about talking to them, right? Because the real truth is they are just as excited to talk to you, all right? And when we have people who are excited to talk to each other, what do we have there? Community. Community, right? And fundamentally, this is what this project's really been about. Here at the museum, we're about 3 things. One, I've mentioned before, we encourage curiosity. We want you to wonder and to look up and see what's possible. Secondly, we want you to do the impossible. Reach for the stars, right? Every single thing you see here in our museum is because someone says, yeah, we can do it. I don't care if I'm going to die. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. That's what we do. But the last thing that we don't talk about enough, and I think we're going to talk about today, is to share it with everyone, right? Share things. Share your community, right? And establish it here. So to end, I want to thank several people, and please give a round of applause each. First, this RS project is fantastic. Please give it up for them. I want to thank the Teach Northwest community for coming out here from all over the state. Give it up for yourselves as well. I want to thank Carleton Observatory, who's been a wonderful partner, has been really a huge contributor to what we do here, especially in astronomy. Please give it up for Carleton. And if you happen to not fit in any of those Venn diagrams, please give it up for yourselves for coming out to here as well. Thank you, thank you. Lastly, I have to do a shameless plug. We encourage you to, if you have the time and an inclination, come check out what we do at the museum. We also have a new initiative coming up for people in the alternative education homeschool communities called Family Mornings. We're starting in November. We're going to give you many opportunities to come and in an immersive way learn about aviation and space with either one of us or two of my teammates who were kind of shrugging and looking scowly at my performance. But that's all my time here. Thank you so much. My name is Lee. Welcome to Evergreen. Cheers.
And I'm going to come back and just tell you a little bit about the Carleton Observatory. So when Zeke and his family and teachers came out here to look and see where are we going to do this, they walked around this pretty much the whole facility and nope, not there. Nope, not there. Nope, not there. And all of a sudden Zeke looked over and said, "What's on that hill over there?" And we're standing on that hill right now. This is, I'm going to start to cry. This is the home, the future home of the Carleton Observatory. You're standing on our property. So we are so excited, and we're so excited to be sponsoring this event because it's everything we do to support our mission. And that's to provide opportunities for experiential science. And Zeke and the team at Teach Northwest and all of these students who came are an exemplary, just like this is our purpose, everything that we do. So we've got some things over there in the tent and some other things. And later on, we'll have the telescope room open. And you're all welcome to come in there and check it out and have such a fun time today because we're going to have a blast while we're here. So I'll turn it back over to Corey, who is one of the directors of the school, Teach Northwest. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you all for being here today, both virtually and in person. My name is Corey Dunn, and I am an assistant director at Teach Northwest. I would like to tell you a little bit about our school today and say thank you to a few people who are here. So, at Teach Northwest, we are committed to providing equitable and authentic learning opportunities that empower our students. This commitment is driven by our 3W principle: wherever, whenever, and whatever, meaning we strive to provide educational experiences wherever our students are, whenever they need them, and tailored to whatever their educational needs may be. Today's event is a prime example of our mission, creating meaningful and impactful educational opportunities beyond a traditional classroom wall. As we prepare to connect with the International Space Station, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Lara, Eric, and Zeke. Without their tireless dedication, this amazing opportunity would not have been possible. Thank you for your commitment, determination, and hard work. Zeke, you are a shining example of how students can impact the world around them. I also would like to express our gratitude to the Carleton Observatory for their invaluable support and collaboration. Their willingness to host us and to contribute to our community's learning experience has been extraordinary, and we are incredibly grateful. And of course, a huge thank you to every student at Teach Northwest who submitted questions, participated in our school-wide vote, showed up today to be a part of this event, our communicators, and those who came and built the antennas that we'll be using today to communicate with the ISS. You all embody the spirit and curiosity that drives Teach Northwest. Thank you all for being here to witness and support this remarkable opportunity. Laura.
So, as Corey just said, last month Zeke led a workshop and taught the Teach Northwest students how to build the antennas that will be used for the ISS contact today. Zeke designed, programmed, and printed the tracker system, and here he is to describe what it will take in order to have a successful ISS contact today.
Hello, everyone. I am Zeke, the person who everyone has been talking about. And so here are a few things to expect for the contact. Now, let's talk about the tracker first, which you can see in the bottom center of the live stream. First, we have to calculate the exact position of the ISS, which it's doing right now about 100 times a second. And so that makes it so that we can accurately track it as it passes overhead at 17,500 miles an hour. Now, because it's going so fast, that leaves us with only 11 minutes to be able to talk to them. And so we have to send very powerful signals to get to the astronauts on the International Space Station. And by the time they get there, they're very weak, so they amplify them. But the same thing happens when they send a signal and it comes down to us. Their signal is very weak when it gets down to here. So we have a low noise amplifier, or an LNA, which amplifies their signal into something audible that we can all hear. Now, the antennas, because they have to be pointed at the ISS, they also have to have gain. Now, if you think of gain, it's basically focused light in a single direction at a wavelength that is not light. It's radio waves. So if you think of a flashlight, it's a focused beam pointed in one direction, so that you can condense all that signal in a single direction. And so the ISS is physically farther away from us when it's at the horizon, so it is going to take more signal strength and power to get there, and the signal will be more scratchy at the horizon, and then as it moves up, we will get better and clearer signal, and then it will be the clearest when it is the highest as it gets at about 60 degrees of elevation. And then, because all things must, if they come up, they must come down, the ISS signal, as it passes over below the horizon on the other side, will get more scratchier, and we'll have to use more power to get to it. Now, the students will line up right here beside me, and they will each ask the astronaut their question. And then you will see the antenna tracking the International Space Station as it moves overhead. Thank you. Okay, so we have about 15 minutes till the ISS. If you're watching the live stream, till the ISS passes overhead, if you're watching the live stream, you can see the G-Predict window of the ISS in the bottom left corner, and it is going to be showing throughout the pass where the ISS is with respect to us, Carleton Observatory. So monitoring the air of the antenna, and it's pointed directly at the ISS. Its air is only 0.2 degrees, so we're right on. Now, as I was saying, the gain width of the antenna has to be condensed, but in reality, the gain beam width of the antenna is pretty wide, so we can be off by quite a bit of air, about 45 degrees, and only lose half the power. So the beam width is super wide, and 0.2 degrees is basically straight on. So we actually cannot use Doppler shift control to control our antennas. I actually have to have preset frequencies to control the frequency of my radios to be able to make contact. And the reason for that is because we're doing it on one band, the frequencies jump back and forth between transmit and receive every time we have to update the frequency. So I have to manually change the frequency by hand to make it work. And if for some reason, any reason, the main tracking system fails, we have a backup antenna to make sure that it works. And so this contact is happening no matter what. So in the G-Predict window in the bottom left corner, you can see that the ISS will pass in about 10 minutes or less. And as you can see on that window in the live stream, there's a little yellow or golden circle there, and that is there to show you the footprint of the ISS and how far they can talk. So right now, they're talking to the edge of that yellow circle. So we will be able to start talking to them as soon as the ISS, or that yellow circle, passes over the Carlton Observatory, or the blue dot on the map. Okay, time update in about, we have the ISS pass happening in about 9 minutes. So the ISS will rise above the horizon at 9:28, so don't leave. Stay tuned for that event. And that is PST, so Pacific time. It'll rise above the horizon in about 8 minutes, and that is when we are going to start talking to the astronauts on the International Space Station. Now, the numbers and letters that I'm going to say when I first make contact with the astronauts is going to be my ham call sign, KJ7NLL, and then the whole conversation is going to start. So my whole antenna system is custom made. My dad and I have been working on it for the past 5 years, and we have been working to build that code and make it work to track. So G-Predict is just a visual representation of the ISS, but it's not actually driving our rotor system. If you would like to see that code and have a look at it, it's on my GitHub, github.com/KJ7NLL. Or you could just search Google for KJ7NLL. GitHub. Time update in 7 minutes. It will pass over the horizon. Half degree of error, so errors are looking good. Time update in 6 minutes. The ISS will pass over the horizon. We're counting down. It's getting to be there pretty soon. And you can see the time countdown in the bottom left corner. Next ISS in 5:40. Okay, so now the students are going to line up behind me to get ready to say their question over the radio. Okay, so as you can see on the very left corner next to my video, and on the right, these are live views from the International Space Station directly from YouTube. And so when you see land there, you might actually be able to see us when it's passing directly overhead. And now you can see another view of the ISS, but it's mostly just their equipment. Time in 4 minutes. The ISS will pass above the horizon. So the audio from the ISS will be coming out of our main PA system and the live stream, so you'll be able to hear that and the entire conversation as well. So we're at the Carlton Observatory in McMinnville. Time update, about 3 minutes till rise above horizon. I'm going to start transmitting at 50 watts and increase until we get a signal. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So the ISS is only 7 degrees below the horizon currently. 1 minute and 50 seconds. Okay, so now that static you hear is the static of our squelch opening, and that static is coming from our radios, and it will turn into voice when we get a signal. ISS will be passing over the horizon in 54 minutes. Seconds. Not minutes. 24 seconds. -1 degree. It is 1 degree below the horizon. Volume looks good. Five, 3, 2, 1. The ISS is at 0.1 degrees above the horizon. Here we go. NA1SS, NA1SS, NA1SS. This is Kilo Juliet 7, November Lima Lima, Charlie November 85. LEDs are on. Copy, but very weak and scratchy. Still very weak. Anyone SS? Anyone SS? Anyone SS? This is Kilo Juliet 7, November Lima Lima. Six degrees above the horizon. Anyone SS? Anyone SS? Anyone SS? This is Kilo Juliet 7, November Lima Lima.
Kilo Juliet 7, November Lima Lima. November Alpha 1 SS. Over.
Sunita, this is Kilo Juliet 7, November Lima Lima. It is a great honor to connect with you today. I read you 5.
Kilo Juliet 7, November Lima Lima. This is November Alpha 1 SS. Over.
November Alpha 1 SS, this is Kilo Juliet 7, November Lima Lima. And are you ready to receive questions?
Yes, Tech Northwest, it's great to hear your voice, and I'm ready for questions. Over.
My name is Cooper, and I'm asking this question for Greston, 3rd grade. Does the International Space Station make its own oxygen for the astronauts? Over.
Great question for Greston. Yes, we do. We also bring oxygen up here, but simply we split water, H2O, into hydrogen and oxygen, and that gives us oxygen. Over.
My name is Justin, and I am asking this question for Lucy in 2nd grade. What kind of plant experiments happen on the International Space Station? Over.
All sorts of plant experiments. It's a great question, Lucy. In the lab that I am right here, we are growing some grass. We've grown soybeans, and we're actually looking at how we would nicely water hydroponic plants, and that's out of Portland, Oregon, right up the road from you guys. Over.
My name is Henry, and I'm in 8th grade. Are there any projects you have worked on that make travel to other planets a possibility? Over.
Hey, Henry. Not me specifically. I mean, we've looked at some exploration concepts here with fuel tanks, and maybe that will be eventually in that category. But there's other areas or other parts of NASA, like Jet Propulsion Lab in California, that are working on that. Over.
My name is Owen. I am in 6th grade. How do you communicate with the other astronauts if everyone speaks different languages? Over.
Great question, Owen. And one of the things we do is we learn Russian, and our Russian colleagues learn English. We speak a funny language called Runglish sometimes, where we fill in for each other. But in the other countries that are represented all also speak English and Russian. So we try to communicate that way. Over.
My name is Elise. I'm in 4th grade. What is your mission while you were up there? Over.
Hi, Elise. Our mission was actually to test the spacecraft while coming up here, and now while we're here, we're doing all sorts of science experiments on ourselves, some of it for exploration, so you guys will be the ones who will go back to the moon and on to Mars. Over.
My name is Ari, and I am asking this question for Coley in 1st grade. What does your day-to-day look like at the International Space Station?
Well, we try to keep good question for Coley. We try to keep the day up here just like we have on Earth. We get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and we go to sleep somewhere around 10 o'clock. And during the day we have all sorts of different activities: science experiments, medical experiments, maintenance, maybe even a spacewalk. So it's varied every single day. It's different. Over.
My name is Beowulf. I am in 7th grade. How has spending time in space changed your perspective on life on Earth? Over.
Great question, Beowulf. You know, I think the biggest change in perspective my perspective is that, like, this is our one planet that we all live on, and it's up here. It's hard to think about anybody not being happy with each other down on Earth, because this is our place where we live. So I think that's the biggest change for me. Over.
My name is Jocelyn. I'm in 5th grade. What is your favorite astronomical site that you've gone to see that is not the Earth? Over.
Yeah, Jocelyn, it's been crazy up here. We've seen all sorts of aurora, but I think the comet that just was, that we saw last month is really cool, and I think you guys can see it on Earth right now. Over.
My name is Emmeline. I am asking this question for Colson in 4th grade. Do astronauts ever get bored in space? Over.
Great question, but I really can't imagine it. Every day, like I mentioned, is different, so every day you're learning something new, and you're interacting with your friends, speaking different languages. It's really fun. Over.
My name is Sebastian, and I'm in 7th grade. Is your favorite food from Earth something they were able to dehydrate and send to space? Over.
So you know what? It's funny that there is one of my favorite Russian food, which is like a Russian sweet cottage cheese, and that is dehydrated. It's up here, and everybody likes to eat it, so we don't really fight over it, but everybody wants it. When we get it, we all take a taste. Over.
My name is Aubrey, and I'm asking this question for Colson in 4th grade. What is your favorite study that you've been a part of? Over.
Probably my most favorite study has been learning about ourselves, because we learn about how we can live up here. You know, we change. My hair grows faster, my nails grow faster, our muscles and our bones change while we're up here. So just learning, doing all those experiments, taking some blood by ourselves, of ourselves, and urine samples, finding all that stuff out is really interesting to me. Over.
My name is Rosalia, and I am in 8th grade. What is the most challenging thing about being an astronaut? Over.
Hi, Rosalie. I think the most challenging thing for me is just being away from home and missing my family, and of course my 2 big dogs. I don't get a chance to talk to them on the radio. Over.
My name is Sebastian, and I'm asking this question for Fenimore in 10th grade. Throughout your whole experience of becoming and being an astronaut, if there were to be one thing you could change, what would it be? Over.
Wow, that's a hard question, because I've had such a great career. I don't know if I would change anything. While you're going through things seem hard, but once you get past them, you look back and you go, wow, this has been really fun. We've got to do spacewalks up here. We've got to fly different spacecraft. I can't even really think about anything I would have wanted to change. Over.
My name is Hawk, and I'm in 6th grade. Why did you decide to become an astronaut? Over.
Hey, Hawk, I think really the biggest reason is because I saw that it was fun, and actually I like to explore. I like to learn new things. I wasn't even thinking about it till I was in my 20s, and then I met people who were astronauts, and I thought, wow, they're having a good time, and they're learning a lot, so I want to do that. Over.
My name is Emmeline. I am in 5th grade. Have you seen the aurora borealis from space? Over.
Emmeline, absolutely. The first time I saw it was on a spacewalk, and it was below me, and I was a little bit freaked out, but it was so cool. And more recently, we've had some big activity with the sun, and we've seen amazing aurora, red sky. I think you guys probably saw it as well. Over.
My name is Henry, and I'm asking this question for Runic in 6th grade. How does it feel to be weightless? Over.
Weightlessness is really fun and cool. It's a mixture of being a bird and a fish. But you can do all those gymnastics things that I can't do, because I'm not that coordinated, by doing all sorts of flips and turns up here. And you can really learn a little bit about how to actually fly. So it's really fun. Over.
My name is Elise. I am in 4th grade. Who's the youngest person up there? Over.
Great question. I think the youngest person, though, is in their 30s. One of the Russian cosmonauts named Alex, who's smiling the whole time that he's been up here. He's great, and it's fun to have young people up here to liven up the place. Over.
My name is Justin, and I am asking this question for Brandon in 5th grade. Have any astronauts brought a pet to the ISS? Over.
Well, not in recent history. However, we have had spiders up here. We are going to have some mice up here. Not necessarily pets, but animals that we will work with while we're here. Over.
My name is Cooper, and I am asking this question for Grustin in 3rd grade. If you eat or drink something, does your body digest it in the same way as it would on Earth? Over.
For the most part, that it does. I think your body has to get used to pushing the food down rather than getting the gravity assist. Same goes with going to the bathroom, but you get used to it, and then you metabolize, I think, very similarly as we do on Earth. Over.
My name is Owen. I am in 6th grade. What is your favorite part of being an astronaut? Over.
You know, I think my favorite part is my hair is crazy up here. It is funny, and I like to share that microgravity is not only a place where we work, but it's also a place where we have fun, and we have a lot of camaraderie, and we work together, and I want more people to do it. And I think that's my favorite part of this, and I think everybody should have a lap around the planet and have a change in their perspective on life. Over.
My name is Corey, and I would like to thank you for your time today on behalf of Teach Northwest and all of the community members here in McMinnville, Oregon.
Thank you so much, Sunita, and we are about to lose contact. And I think we got all of the questions in. Yeah, we got all of the questions in, which is amazing. That means that we were able to get our signal up there early enough and be able to have it come down perfectly and get all of our questions answered. So that was amazing. It feels just amazing.
I mean, 5 years of hard work finally coming in.
Thank you, everyone, for joining our live stream. And that was the main event for today. So thank you for joining us.